They said the North would never accept Peter Obi. They repeated it confidently. Peter Obi cannot penetrate the core North. But something is happening in Zamfara state, and perhaps those who created that narrative need to look again. These young people are not merely posting from their phones. They are walking from street to street, entering communities and speaking directly with residents about Peter Obi. Let us watch. Welcome to the Critical Lens Africa, where we go beyond the headlines and examine what the headlines may not be telling you. Now, you have seen it for yourself. This is Zamfara, part of Nigeria's core north. These are young people voluntarily carrying a political message from one person to another. They are speaking with women. They are entering neighborhoods. They are building relationships. Most importantly, they are doing the work critics insisted Peter Obi's supporters could never do in northern Nigeria. The door-to-door mobilization is only the beginning. Across Zamfara and other parts of the north, supporters are already displaying Peter Obi and Kwankwaso banners in their communities. Then came this vehicle, completely branded for the movement. The election is still months away, yet ordinary Nigerians are already outdoing themselves, moving from community to community, mounting banners and providing campaign materials from their own pockets. Let us watch.
Kafin a yi mata fenti, na yi mata fenti insha Allah Osun. Wannan gidan gaba ɗaya Alayhi Sulaiman mai ne ba da shi. Agata ya ce a mai fenti gaba ɗaya saboda honorable Samuel Shehu Amuma. Gashi na an fara sabanoni. Wannan shine Agata kenan. Hedikwatar Agata. To muna godiya Alayhi Sulaiman mai. Muna godiya babban jagora. Komai yayi.
Update 3. Why Benue celebrated Obi? Peter Obi recently traveled to Otukpo, Nobi in Benue state after communities suffered terrible attacks. He did not go there primarily for a political rally. He went to identify with grieving families. He prayed with the community at the mass burial site. He visited injured victims in hospital. He listened to people who had lost their loved ones and reminded the federal government that the protection of lives and property is the primary responsibility of government. Then, while he was in Benue, residents spotted him, and this was their reaction. Let us watch. Look at their faces. Listen to the shouting. Look at the genuine excitement. This was not simply a crowd responding to a famous name. These were people responding to someone who had entered their community during a moment of pain. When a leader identifies with people while they are mourning, the people remember. When a leader enters their pain, listens to them and stands beside them, something deeper than political campaigning is created. It is called human connection. It is called compassion. And perhaps this is why Peter Obi is frequently received with excitement in different parts of Nigeria, from east to west, from north to south. The people may be seeing in him something they desperately desire to see in Nigerian leadership. A leader who does not consider ordinary people too insignificant to visit. Now compare that to President Tinubu's airport condolence visit to Jos victims that generated much controversy. Representatives of the grieving families were brought to a hall near the airport. President Tinubu did offer condolences and announce security measures. But he did not travel to the affected communities or visit injured victims in hospital. He also told the gathering that the airport lacked electricity and that he had only 10 minutes before he needed to leave. Let us listen.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. You have no light at the airport, and I have to fly back within the next 10 minutes. To you leaders, I've had this. To the victim, there is nothing I can give you, whether money in millions, but console you and promise you that this experience will not repeat itself.
The presidency later explained that the airport could not support night flights and that an earlier security meeting with the president of Chad had delayed Tinubu's journey. That explanation must be acknowledged. But Nigerians are still entitled to ask, could the visit not have been planned differently? When citizens have lost their loved ones, should they be transported to meet their president at an airport, or should their president enter the community and meet them where they are grieving? But here is the most painful part. President Tinubu promised those grieving families this experience will not repeat itself. Yet, the following evening, the experience repeated itself. Gunmen attacked Nyango Jayal in Jos South, killing 3 men and injuring another. Before the grieving families could even find comfort in the president's assurance, another community was mourning. Peter Obi later described it as another presidential promise that failed almost immediately. This is why leadership cannot end with airport speeches, cameras, and promises. Compassion must be accompanied by action. Security must be measured by the lives protected, not the promises announced. Update 4. Peter Obi remembers Osun victims. And now, while politicians are celebrating the outcome of the Osun election, Peter Obi has remembered another group of Nigerians who could easily be forgotten. He congratulated Governor Adeleke and the people of Osun. He acknowledged their right to celebrate. But he also said, while celebrating, let us also remember those who paid the ultimate price for democracy. Peter Obi asked that the families of those who lost their lives during the electoral period be identified and reached through visits, condolences, support, and appropriate compensation, irrespective of the political party they supported. Then he said, no political victory is worth the blood of a Nigerian. Think about that for a moment. While one family is celebrating the election result, another family may be staring at an empty chair. Somewhere, a child may still be waiting for a father who will never return. Somewhere, a woman may have lost her husband, her companion, and the breadwinner of her family. A mother may have lost her son. Friends may have lost someone they loved. A community may have lost one of its own. The election has ended. The winner has been announced. But for those families, the pain has not ended. Their lives cannot be reduced to one sentence in an election observation report. Yes, Osun people have a right to celebrate. But celebration and compassion can exist together. Victory must never bury the victims. However, compensation alone is not enough. Money can support a bereaved family, but money cannot replace justice. Who sponsored the violence? Who carried out the attacks? Who supplied the weapons? Who has been arrested? And who will be prosecuted? Peter Obi's statement did not expressly promise that all political violence would disappear if he became president. No responsible person can guarantee that. But by raising this matter when others are celebrating, he has created an expectation. If he becomes president, Nigerians will expect his government to transform these words into functioning institutions. They will expect the police to investigate political violence without protecting powerful sponsors. They will expect prosecutors and the courts to hold offenders accountable. They will expect the EFCC and other agencies to investigate vote buying and the misuse of public resources where evidence exists. They will expect INEC and security agencies to protect voters impartially. And they will expect elections where Nigerians can vote without being shot, threatened or intimidated. Compassion must lead to accountability. Otherwise, it becomes another beautiful political speech. Update 5, Obidients and Kwankwasiyyas unite. Now, watch this gathering of the OK movement. Obidients and members of the Kwankwaso movement are standing together. People from different ethnic groups, religions, and regions are speaking with one voice. Let us watch.
NDC. Media movement in India is possible. Zone 1. Get to that.
This is what political unity should resemble. Not an Igbo project. Not a Hausa project. Not a Yoruba project. Not a Christian project. Not a Muslim project. But Nigerians coming together around the qualities they want in leadership. Character. Competence. Capacity. Compassion. And commitment. The partnership between Peter Obi and Kwankwaso will ultimately be judged by what it delivers, not merely by slogans or exciting videos. But when young people in Zamfara are voluntarily going from door to door, when supporters are reportedly contributing their personal resources, and when Nigerians celebrate a leader who identifies with them during hardship, something important is happening. So there you have it, 5 hot developments from Peter Obi and the OK movement. Zamfara youth are taking the message from door to door. Supporters are reportedly contributing their personal resources. Benue residents spontaneously celebrated a leader who identified with them during their moment of pain. Peter Obi has asked that the families of those who lost loved ones during the Osun electoral period be remembered, visited, and appropriately compensated. And Obidients from the north and members of the Kwankwaso movement are uniting across ethnic, religious, and regional boundaries. These developments have demolished the tired claim that Peter Obi's supporters exist only on social media and that the North will never vote for Peter Obi. Tell critics that the North are not only mobilizing voters for Peter Obi but that they are also putting their resources to ensure he wins come 2027. They are online, on the streets and inside communities. The OK movement is growing, and the Critical Lens Africa will continue to follow every important development. Subscribe, turn on your notifications and share this video so that more people can see what is happening beyond the headlines. Watch out for our next update.